With schools closed because of COVID-19, many children are at risk of falling further behind, as well as missing breakfast and lunch. To help solve the problem, actresses Jennifer Garner and Amy Adams and others have launched Save with Stories, an Instagram account featuring famous faces reading children's books in order to raise money for Save the Children and for another program, No Kid Hungry.
I am going to read Big Red Barn by Margaret Wise Brown. I love this book. By the big red barn in the great green fields, there was a young pig who was learning to squeal. Squeal! Squeal!
And joining me now, longtime child advocate and actor Jennifer Garner and Mark Shriver, Senior Vice President of Save the Children. Thanks to both of you. Jennifer Garner, I want to ask you, the meaning for you in this crisis of being able to serve this way and read to children online.
Well, I've worked. Good morning. Hi. Thank you for having us on. And hi, Mark. How are you doing?
Good.
I've worked with Mark at Save the Children, focusing on early education in the United States and rural America for the last 12 years. And we had just been to Kentucky when all of this started to go down. And it was evident even then, the week before everything shut down, they were already talking about how will we get food to the kids? What will we do? Well, it might be a break, but there was no concept at the time that it would be the longest summer in kids' lives or in history. And we already focus so much on the summer slide and keeping kids reading and engaged and active in homes where there isn't broadband, where there aren't books. There's one book for every 13 children in poor America, where there aren't worksheets and workbooks and all kinds of classes to keep them engaged. So when this hit, it was already top of mind.
And Mark, Save the Children has done so much, but one thing that is bigger than all of us is the digital divide. And so many children are not empowered because they don't have access to these wonderful programs.
And that's why this effort, Andrea, is so important to get books and to get food into kids' homes. So that's what Save the Children has been doing with No Kid Hungry all across the country. Feeding kids over 100,000 a day in rural America, as Jennifer just said, but also getting books and worksheets into their homes. And schools are working on such thin margins already. Just the transportation, the gas cost to transport this food is so expensive. And the fact that there aren't worksheets, as Jennifer said, there's not money for Xeroxing paper and getting that out to kids' families. That's what Save the Children is doing with these dollars that are raised through Save with Stories. So people can go online, hear great stories read, like the one Jennifer just read, over 150 books out there at Save with Stories, or they can go to savethechildren.org/savewithstories and get connected as well, because it's really important not only to provide content to families that are all across the country, but also to raise a few dollars to help kids in rural America.
It's such a great program. I wanted to just share a clip of some of the others who have been reading stories online, as Jennifer, you have.
Hola, soy América y hoy voy a leer Dragones y Tacos.
5 miles off the coast of Maine and slightly overdue, a circus ship was steaming south in a fog as thick as stew.
I've loved you since forever. Before birds flew over rainbows.
Our friend Hoda, as well as Steve Carroll and America Ferrara. Jennifer, you are so essential to this. You're taking your celebrity, your talent, and using it for Save the Children. And for that, we really love you for it.
Oh, well, thank you. Just for the record, it was Amy Adams' idea. She called me and said, I have this idea. I think celebrities should be reading to help kids who are out of school have food. And then I kind of said, all right. And I called Mark and we dove in. So it's been a big group effort. And it's been, yes, I've badgered everyone I've ever worked with, met, known. And they've all, we are in part of such a generous community. But the stories, we just put Kate Winslet up reading Green Eggs and Ham. I mean, come on. What is more fun than that? You have to check it out.
And it's all across the world, right,
You
Jennifer?
don't have to be a child to love that.
Yeah, and it's
Yes,
I'm
you
sorry,
do not
Andrew,
have
it's
to
all
be a child.
across
The fun thing is, it turned out that Amy had a really good idea. It's across the world. It's Save with Stories Nepal and Australia and South Korea and the Netherlands, and the UK is starting up this week. And where else, Mark? There's so many. Mexico.
I mean, Australia, it's all Mexico, India, it's all across the world. And it just shows how people want to be connected. And they want to provide great content for their kids so that their kids can continue to learn. And I think, as Jennifer said, how important it is the summer slide, especially for poor kids, is going to be the longest summer ever. So we need to make sure that if we do get back, and when we do get back, that these kids get the resources, both food and educational resources this summer, come June, July, and August, so that they can go back to school as best prepared as possible. That's why this effort, Save with Stories, is so important.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.